This game wrap is brought to you by San Antonio Masonry and Steel, located on FM 1560 in West San Antonio and in Converse, and by... Hi everyone, Mr. Bowtie here. Thank you so much for checking out my content and my channel. Now make sure you bang home that red subscribe button on YouTube so that way you can stay up to date on the latest content from around the area that you won't find anywhere else. And follow me on Twitter at Mr. Bowtie 1982. Thank you so much and enjoy the show. Harlan and Stevens meet up in a key District 29 6A positioning battle. It's the first meeting between the two schools in a tight district where 8 of the 9 teams come into the action within 2 games of first place. Harlan is 1-2 in their inaugural season in 6A district play. They trailed by 17 2 weeks ago against O'Connor, came all the way back to take the lead but could not hold it, and they eventually lost in extra possessions. As for Stevens, they came out with a quick start, which included a blowout win over Warren. 2 weeks ago, though, they lost 24-0 to Brennan in a battle for first place. Then last week in a non-district game against fellow district mate Clark, they lost, meaning that Stevens has lost 2 in a row, and they're seeing their season momentum going downhill. How'd the matchup play out? Well, let's take you to Gustafson Stadium and check out the action. A friendly reminder that all high school football games are taped in front of a live studio audience. And that live studio audience got to see the season debut for Harlan running back Aubrey McDade, who had missed the entire season since suffering an ankle injury in a preseason scrimmage. And yes, he did factor into the game. Scoring was fast and furious right from the opening kick. 31 seconds in, Hawks tried a trick play. Direct snap to running back Richard De La Garza. He tried to flip it to Kamali Anderson. It popped up in the air right into Efrain Mejia's hands, and he ran it back 29 yards for the score. Mejia's had one defensive touchdown after another so far in the season. The ball never touched the ground, so it's an interception and not a fumble, and just like that, Stevens up 7-0. That was just the beginning of the wildness. Kannon Williams of Harlan and KK Kevin Brashears of Stevens put on a quarterback duel that Joe Montana and Montana-Elway would be proud of. In order to keep the wrap shorter than the presidential election, we're speeding things up just a little bit. The two quarterbacks went a combined 32 for 42 for 475 yards passing, 6 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Ethan Gonzalez had 142 receiving yards on just 6 receptions for Stevens, and Jadaea Spriggs was the high-end receiver for the Hawks with 84 yards and 2 touchdowns, while Michael Bell had 60 and 3. McDade had 52 yards rushing and a 2-point conversion, while De La Garza had 127. Okay, I think we got all the touchdowns in. Game tied at 27 heading into the fourth quarter. Brashears with a 16-yard touchdown pass to Jeremiah Mesle Elliott gave Stevens the lead back with 10:38 remaining. JME banged off a defender and just crossed the goal line before going down. Close, but Stevens likely would have scored on the next play. Williams led Harlan back the other way. He tried to find Spriggs inside the 5, but the receiver was interfered with, DPI, and the free first down for the Hawks. Now 4th and 13 at the 20. Great defense on the receivers, but Williams improvised. He found just enough space and ran 15 yards down to the 5. First down extended the drive. 4th and goal, again Stevens with a chance to make a stop. De La Garza back at quarterback. The first time he tried a trick play, it failed like the New York Jets. Eddie Salas said, run it again. This time the flip to Spriggs worked. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, and the game is tied at 34 with 5:24 left. Falcons went 3 and out on their next drive, which gave the Hawks the ball back with plenty of time to move down the field for a chance to win. A couple of long De La Garza runs moved the Hawks into Falcon territory. A couple of plays later, De La Garza again running around the Falcons all the way down to the 1 with 30 seconds left. Hawks had 237 rushing yards on the evening. Here comes Emanuel De Los Santos with an 18-yard attempt to try to win the game. The snap was high and the kick looked as ugly as Don Rickles in a swimsuit. But for Harlan, it was pretty enough. Look again, the ball barely got over the defense. That might be the most subdued walk-off field goal celebration in the history of barbecued corn. 37-34 the final as Harlan won on the last play of the game after losing on the last play 2 weeks ago. Hawks had 487 yards of total offense, Falcons 351, which meant just under 850 combined. Hawks find themselves in the middle of the playoff race, as does Stevens, but the Falcons have now lost 3 in a row, 2 in district, and that great start to the year is disappearing. District 29 6A district standings, like some election races, too close to call, with nobody separating out at the top or the bottom. Reporting from Gus Stadium, I'm Greg Sherman.